Well, good morning, everyone. It is Friday the 13th, and I don't know about you, but I think it's just irresponsible that we had two Friday the 13th so close together. I'm not superstitious, but everyone knows Friday the 13th is a day where you watch your back, you worry a little extra, something bad might happen. But have you ever wondered where the legend of Friday the 13th came from and what it has to do with history's first politically backed large scale witch hunt? If so, I'm your person. If you don't know me, hi, I am an American currently living in Ireland, but I'm also a Christian author. I primarily write fiction, but I'm getting into nonfiction, and my first nonfiction book, which I just finished, dealt a lot with the history of witchcraft. So let's get into it. The year was 1307, and King Philip IV of France was really upset at the Knights Templar. Now, they had a lot of wealth, they had a lot of power, and I think you could see why that would make a king or really anybody in power nervous. So he decided he had to do something about the Knights Templar. Now, at this point in history, this was during the Middle Ages. Witchcraft was openly and legally practiced. What witch hunts had happened up to this point, they were smaller scale, they weren't politically backed. It was more nervous villagers deciding like, hey, we don't like that person, let's go take care of them, basically. Everyone's always talking about this period of history, and they act like the church just had a vendetta against anyone who was different or powerful women. And the common consensus is, oh, during the Middle Ages, anyone who was powerful, any woman, whatever, the church just hated them, so they rounded them up and killed them. That's completely untrue. The first politically backed witch hunt was against a group of men. Also, witchcraft was safely practiced. The church did not agree with it. That's why in Dante Alighieri's Inferno, there is a circle of hell dedicated to witchcraft, but the church did not persecute witches. Something that's really interesting is the practice of burning witches at the stake was actually started in Germany by pre-Christian Odin worshippers. And all that changed in 1307. Why? Well, because of the Knights Templar. King Philip decided he wanted to try them for witchcraft, so he rounded them up and had them tried between 1307 and 1312. As they were being tried, they were accused of worshiping the devil, having relations with demons, all these different things that become staples of later witch hunts and witch trials. And unfortunately, a lot of the men did confess under duress, and most of them were executed. And that's whenever witchcraft and heresy, which heresy was punishable by death, became synonymous for the first time, and large-scale witch hunts then started. Now, what you're asking, does any of this have to do with Friday the 13th? Well, Friday the 13th in 1307 is whenever King Philip first attacked the Knights Templar and started rounding them up. And have a good Friday the 13th, y'all. Bye.